South Koreans believe that education is the absolute key to success, with a high school graduation rate of 97%, the highest in the world. Students start as early as kindergarten, preparing for college entrance exams, with many high school students spending over 12 hours a day at school in an attempt to earn a spot at one of the most prestigious universities in the country. One of the subjects that is heavily stressed is English. Parents are willing to pay a small fortune on their children's education, and that's where I come in. Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm an English Hagwon teacher. Hagwon is a private academy or cram school that provides supplemental education to help students who are striving for top test scores in various subjects, such as English. These English-only Hagwons are staffed by native English speakers like myself and generally give students a leg up in their English fluency. These academies take students as young as 3 years old, and many feel that the quality of English education their children are getting is superior to classes taught by Korean teachers in public schools. And these Hagwons are not cheap. Despite Korea's household income per capita of $15,335 US, parents are spending an average of $1,000 a month on education. Many Hagwons cost even more than that, at a steep price of over $1,500 a month. Many feel these Hagwons create a class divide between the wealthy and working families. But why do Koreans even want to learn English? South Korea is a small, geographically landlocked country where everyone speaks the same language. It can't be to please all of us foreigners living here. Most would tell you they are studying to get good scores, study abroad, or to get a good job or promotion, even if that job doesn't require speaking English, as opposed to learning simply for communication. However, it is also likely that English is so stressed in order to professionally connect in a global society. Up until recently, public education taught English from first grade up until graduation. In May of 2018, English education in affordable after-school programs in public schools before the third grade was banned. In an interview with Al Jazeera, the director of Early Childhood Education and Care Policy Division at the Ministry of Education, Kwon Ji-young, stated that according to many English experts and neuroscientists, the right age for learning English as a second language is the third grade. Starting second language education at preschool is too early. Before that, social skills and cognitive development should take place. Is that true? If you asked a group of random people, most would agree that the earlier to learn a language, the better. A good example of this are Hispanic children in the U.S. who grow up speaking both English and Spanish. But what they fail to realize is that many of these bilingual children learned the languages consecutively, not simultaneously. And while learning a second language early doesn't hinder learning the first, there is no clear time when a child must learn a language to become bilingual. And there are studies that show waiting to learn a language might be more efficient. A study conducted by Harvard professor Catherine Snow and her co-author Marianne Hofnagel-Hole showed otherwise by examining English-speaking students of different ages who were learning Dutch. And it showed that the students ages 12 to 15 were faster learners, and that the main cause of low proficiency among older adult learners were a result of things such as time and motivation. But studies like these are very unlikely to be read by your average parent, much less sway their decision to begin education at a very early age. But where does this leave South Korean students? Putting an age ban on English learning will not stop families from seeking it elsewhere, and will only make it more difficult for children from low-income families to compete with those from wealthy ones. And while the ministry has warned parents to treat English like a second language in an attempt to take some stress off of young students, parents have made it very clear they will spend whatever they have to in order to have their child speaking English as early as possible. And by the time these students reach the third grade, those from low-income families who couldn't afford private academies will find themselves at a major disadvantage, creating a massive, possibly irreparable gap between classes. If there is no money, there is no opportunity, and the disadvantaged children will find themselves in the same situation as their parents, in an endless cycle, unable to advance in such a highly competitive society.